All right, and welcome back. Earlier in the show, we heard from Common Ground volunteer Leslie Boswell.
She gave us an update on the soybean harvest, and we also heard from her about the many uses of soybeans. Well, now Leslie is back with a recipe to share. Here she is with a two-ingredient pumpkin bread.
All right, well, if you're in the kitchen, sometimes you want things that are easy. You want to have something easy to make. Joining me now with more on this is Leslie Boswell with Common Ground. Leslie, it's good to see you today.
Well, John, I'm glad to share this with you. And I think this is going to be the perfect thing for kids to throw together after school. I don't know if I've done one easier than this. It is 2 ingredients, just 2. And they are a spice cake mix and a can of pumpkin. And I know the recipe says 2 cups, but really I think 1 can is 15 ounces. That's good enough. So you just throw in the 1 can and you mix this up with the pumpkin and the cake mix. And it's going to take a little bit to get it stirred together, but it's no more than a couple of minutes. You use a wooden spoon. You don't need to use a mixer. And I think that keeps it from just beating too much air into it. It'll end up kind of like a cakey quick bread is the way it works. I've got a loaf pan, a regular sized loaf pan, and I took some parchment paper and just lined it with that. I'll pour this in on top of that. And then when you bake it at 350 for about 35 minutes, or when a toothpick comes out clean out of the center, just like you would out of any cake. When it's all baked, then you just lift that out by that parchment paper and it'll be easy. You let it cool on a cooling rack for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then you can use some powdered sugar to sprinkle it over the top. And you get one of the easiest pumpkin breads you've ever seen.
Wow, you are not kidding. That is something I think anybody could do and feel good about.
Anybody can, and you throw it together. There's some other variations with the spice cake mix, but this time of year the pumpkin just sounded right. So you cut it up. You could even serve it with a little bit of Cool Whip. So you can eat it like a bread, or you can eat it like a piece of cake. It really is simple, and it would be nice to take to some of the sports things that are going on now, or anytime you need to take something to school or to church. It's an easy thing to throw together, and it'll be ready very quickly.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, John. Glad to have you here.